Rover P6 3500. I love cars of all shapes and forms. My personal passion is more towards sports and racing saloons, or whilst P6 was considered fast in its day, that was pretty much only in a straight line. But I like it. It's got character, and it's something of its era. And as we have a specialist division that deals primarily in Classic Rovers, it makes all the more sense that I actually have a Classic Rover myself.
What made this one special in its day then?
It was different. It was a departure for Rover. The suspension's quite sophisticated. Disc brakes all round, which when these came out in the early 60s was unheard of. The V8 in particular was renowned. It was fast. Everyone says they remember one as a police car. There can't be many that haven't watched an old episode of The Sweeney. It's quite distinctive. A lot of modern cars, you look at them, you're not sure if it's a Nissan or a Toyota or something else because they all look similar. A Rover P6 is clearly a Rover P6 and there's nothing that looks like one. Me being me, having come from the world to go faster, it's been slightly modified. It was a 3-speed auto. It's now a 5-speed manual. It's got an upgraded anti-roll bar. We've upgraded the shock absorbers. There's a few engine modifications along the line to give it a little more get up and go. It was considered fast in its day, but it's not now. But give it back some of what it has lost in comparison with modern vehicles. Bit of fun. And it makes a nice noise. There we go, heart of the beast. All Aluminium V8 3528cc, or in American speak, 215 cubic inches. Twin SU HIF 6 carbs. Rated at around 155 horsepower. Back in the 70s, considered big money, big power. But for me, I like cars of all shapes and sizes, so if I could, I'd just have a barn full of them. Particularly 1960s and 70s cars. 60s, 70s, maybe early 80s.
Give me some, for instance, models. What are the absolute favourites from those eras?
For those eras, if you were talking Fords, you'd be talking Ford Escorts, Ford Capris. Over from America, 67 Mustang, aka McLean's bullet car. Other cars from the UK, old Hillmans, Hunters, Avengers, Sunbeam Tiger, later Sunbeam, 1960s and 70s Lanciers, 4-wheelers, Beta, which came along in the late 70s. Classic cars, Alfa Romeo, Alfa Sud. Even some oddballs, quirky to drive, but Fiat X19, Fiat 124, if they've got racing pedigree or quite fast, a worthwhile car back in the day, I can't say I ever get gooey-eyed over Austin Allegro. I had one of them, or Austin Maxi, or even Austin Princess. I think I had 3 of those, but they weren't fast, they weren't sporty, they weren't reliable.
Yet you had 3 of them.
But I had 3 of them. Yeah, I mean, there's another mark, Triumph. I had numerous Triumph saloons. Never had a Triumph Stag, I quite like one of them, but you can only have so many cars.